Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rolldown, the TFT esports podcast where we talk about everything from the grassroots to the pro scene, from the couch to the crown. I'm so glad to have you all. My name is CLE. I am the host of this show alongside my constant co-host, the future Riftbound world champion, Gangly. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready for my Riftbound pre-release event tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.
You're probably gonna win for sure. No, we've been
Training. Just hit Victor. Just hit Victor. That's it. That's all it takes.
Just play Victor, but we do have Zillion on with us, which is not a legend yet in Riftbound. But Robinsongz, welcome to the show. My first question is, what is Slimebot, and why were you making an app for a Maple story?
Wait, how'd you find out about that? Dude, this feels like okay. Yeah, Slimebot. It was I was playing Maple Story Mobile. That was a time when I took a year off to learn how to code by myself. And I was playing Maple Story Mobile, and it lacked like a lot of basically it's a Discord bot where you can put in commands and it pumps out damage calculations and where to get certain items. It's just a huge information bot. Think about a little buddy bot or something for TFT, where you put in stuff and it gives you information. It's basically just that, and everybody in Maple Story Mobile used it actually. So it was in many Discords.
Sweet.
And then when I started playing TFT, I stopped updating it, and then I just and it died. But it's I have a T-shirt. It's a Slimebot, and then and it's a good lore. It's a good lore for me.
You're lucky I didn't ask you about your being a waiter over in Shanghai.
Oh, you just looked at my LinkedIn.
That's what this. I was like, where are these deep cuts coming from, Jack? This is crazy.
I don't know. I was just searching for fun things, and I found Robinsongz on LinkedIn, and I said, "Oh, that's the dude." All right, let's see where he worked.
Yeah. I worked in Shanghai for a summer, but yeah.
Anyway, that's enough weird intros. Today we're going to be covering a lot of things about the TFT esports scene. We're going to talk about the current Tactician's Crown roster from across the world. We're going to do a deep dive into the Americas Regional Finals. We're going to do a Gangly Stats Corner, and we're going to ask Robin a bunch of questions about maybe how old he is, what kind of... Anyway, we'll get into that later. But let's get started and dive into it. First, with probably the biggest news of the past week outside of competitive TFT news is the new trailer and name for Set 16 Teamfight Tactics Lore and Legends. Gangly, you excited?
I am. Okay, so I'm gonna be a realist right now, okay? Which is that I think it's common opinion that the last two sets have fallen flat to a lot of people, not everyone. Obviously, some people have liked Cyber City and KO Coliseum. But if you look at the sets we've had for the Open, Set 10, absolute banger. Set 13, in my opinion, best set of all time. It's a bit of a hot take, but it was a good set, very good set. I think all the sets we've had for the Open have been very careful and thoughtful sets, and I'm extremely excited to see what Set 16 is like. Robin,
what's your thoughts on this set? Are you looking forward to it?
I mean, I've been telling my chat that this is the best set of all time. I know I say this every release set, but I've been telling my chat this is actual. I've heard from people that this set is actually the best set of all time, and yeah, they sacked set 14 and 15 for this set.
Right.
They put all their best people on it, so it's gonna be really, really good.
Also, I just want to say this is the set that, if you remember from Macau, when they did the trailer, they said that Set 16 is the set that changes the way we do team building, right? That was this set. Does anyone else remember that phrase being thrown around? I remember making a joke to Mortdog in the airport, "Oh man, I can't wait for the team builder update to come out in Set 16." But something is happening in Set 16 that's going to change the way we build teams.
I'm just so excited to see what it actually looks like, and I know this is kind of the first time that their teams in their cycle has caught up to them since they've added more teams in this 3 sets a year kind of model. And so I think this is the one they've had the most lead time for. So it also makes sense that this is the best set of all time. But speaking of the best things of all time, Gangly had the best tournament performance of his life, and he's never going to let us forget about it.
That's right. You guys thought that I was just the Berserker one trick who tied for second in Fight Night back in set 2, taking out players like Gunmay, Soulless. No. I'm back at it again. This time farming Masters and GM players in North America, aka CLE, Harmony. The list goes on. Invective, Maple. But yeah, no, we had the Garden State Classic number 3, one of our tri-state events, and we included the top 8 here because Jack and I both kind of went on a run, placing top 4 in the event. So it was a fun little tournament. I kind of choked at the end. I could have maybe gone first if I played a little bit better. Covert Op CLE tried his best to take out Ralphie for me, but he just came up a little bit short. But congrats to Ralphie, who actually has been competing in a lot of the tri-state stuff. He's New York, so it makes sense, but he's been competing in a lot of the tri-state stuff over the last couple of months and has gone on a tear recently. So good for him. Kind of, we've been pretty dominated by like New York in general, both Joe Bookmark and Ralphie just winning like every tournament that we hosted this year. So yeah, it was a fun one. I'm looking forward to all the stuff we're doing in 2026.
I mean, it was a good showing for both of us, but we are definitely no Robinsongz because in no way does this qualify to the level of things that it should. But maybe there's a tri-state announcement coming soon, but we'll get to that later. But a thing that our Robinsongz, our guest, has qualified for is the Tactician's Crown that is coming up on November 14th through the 16th. It is going to be star-studded, 40 players competing for the set championship. And the great news is it is going to be on LAN for the Americas and EMEA players in Alicante, Spain, and for APAC and CN in Chengdu, China. Robin, how excited are you to go to Spain and have this be in person?
I think it's really, really cool in person. I'm also really excited to go to Alicante, but I'm not excited to travel because the thing is like I know Frodan said like a lot of the Vitality guys like low key didn't try their best in regionals because they didn't want to travel to Spain because they're already going to travel to Paris in December. So you'd be going to Spain in November and then you're coming back and you'd be going to Europe again in December. So it's like a double like time zone shift. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I heard great things about Alicante and I'm excited to play with. I don't know if this is probably not possible, but I wanted to play with like everyone, even including APAC and China, because like this is just like combining with EMEA. So like I feel like we could have also just done like what we did last year, like LAN in America, so then we didn't have to travel to Europe. But yeah, I'm excited. And it's just gonna be double the size of America, so it will be more LAN. It will be more like like League Worlds, kind of like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited.
You guys were in Dallas, right? Dallas was the city for the Americas thing last set.
Yeah, we were in Dallas, but the thing is, it was like closed off, so there's no nobody can come and watch. So it was like it didn't feel like a LAN event, and then I know in Europe they had people come watch, so it was more like a LAN event. I don't know. I think it might. I don't know if this is the case for this one. Probably not. I don't know. But yeah. It was in Dallas last year.
I mean, I will say Alicante is definitely a little bit cooler than Dallas. I mean, Dallas is a great city, but Alicante is beautiful. Yeah. Like coastal city, Spanish food, the whole city like comes alive at night. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful city. I think you'll have a good time.
I think one of the biggest things that they were trying to do as well was get people on more similar ping. And so at limiting how far you are across the globe will be huge to that. And I think that's probably why it was like not doing Dallas and Spain and all these other places.
So what server is it going to be played on? Do we know?
I don't know.
I mean, Spain and China are not close to each other, right? But is there like some like I don't even know that would be like a Middle East server it's played on?
Yeah. I think they're not close to each other at all.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see
the midpoint between them.
Okay, I just want to say I don't want to make this an excuse, but I feel like NA has a super debuff this year because we're playing. We're number one, we have to travel farther, and number two, we're playing in a bad time zone, so we have no benefit. So because before it would be like we have bad time zone, but we have better ping. That was like the trade-off. But then now it's like they just told us we'd be playing at 10 a.m. Spain time, and I just looked it up. It's midnight for Los Angeles.
Yep. Yeah, I remember last set last set, Jack and I were both at Worlds or at Tac Crown casting, and I could not sleep that whole weekend. I could not fall asleep. And I got like a couple of hours a night at best. And by Sunday, I was just a absolute shell of a human. I could not think. I could not talk. We went out to dinner afterwards, and Jack can attest to this. I sat in silence for like an hour straight because my brain just finally broke down. I think the Americas players are going to have a hard time adjusting, but you know, it is still going to be a good time. I feel like we're making it sound like it's not exciting. This is a net positive overall. I think all the players, when they're actually there and are like feeling the excitement of the weekend, are going to be grateful that we made this change. I think there's a lot of other opportunities that will make the show overall very cool.
I think it's good overall for TFT and esports as a whole.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not sure it'll ever be the spectacle of League Worlds where you have the whole pre-show with bands and stuff, but there absolutely can be
Imagine Dragons is coming back.
Hey, it was in the trailer. I'm just saying for the next set. Imagine Dragons is going to be in Paris.
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm cooking.
Imagine. Yeah.
Dragons?
Who knows?
Sorry. All right, well, that's a little bit about the TAC Crown. We're so excited for that November 14th to the 16th, but over the past few weekends, we've had competitions that led up and helped secure the 40 players for this event, and we don't have all of them locked in yet because I believe CN regionals are happening like today. Like they're happening as we're recording this. Anyway, they're happening right now, so we don't know the whole roster yet, but we do know a huge new roster update for the TPC, specifically for Americas and EMEA. This is all of the players that played in week 2 of the regional finals last weekend. And Robin, obviously you stayed on this list because you were in you were top 4 in pro points and now made it to weekend 2 automatically. But do you think this America's TPC is going to be harder next set or easier?
I feel like it's going to be harder. The people that came, like in theory, it should get harder and harder, or maybe it's just RNG. But yeah, I see that. Are the who are the new list of players? Is it just the bottom 8, or is it not? It's not really. It's a mix. So I see Cute.
The right side.
I see like Kyun Spencer is new, right?
Yep.
And then I don't know who else is new, but I feel like they basically they cut off a lot of people that like kind of either didn't try the set or like quit TF, like kind of like replay didn't really play the set, so he got cut, I think. But then they added people who were like tryharding the set and like just didn't make regionals the previous set. So like Kyun, Spencer, I don't know who else. I don't know who else, but it does look harder to me.
Yeah, the main thing that I noticed about TPC that I wasn't expecting, and kind of what Robin is saying, is that there were just a lot of people who were checked out this set. Like and it's hard to say because obviously some people maybe they did just struggle, but Talion went to regional finals and said in chat, "This is my first game in a month at regionals," like literally on Friday of regionals or Saturday, whatever, during play-in, saying this is the first game I've played in a month. BO had this like historically low set. Replay didn't play. Milk was traveling the world. Like half the TPC just felt like was not trying. And I feel like we actually lost a lot of star power, but the players who came in, you have to expect that they're like hungrier than the players who got eliminated. So I also think even though the name recognition is lower, I think the next TPC will be harder.
Depends on, because like in TFT people just like come and go, so it depends on if some people who came in. Yeah, like TFT is just random. Like a lot of IRL stuff happens, right? Like for example, like Dehua this set didn't actually play that much. He just like super prepped for regionals or something, and he's got that dog in him. He watches last year at Worlds, he would always his pre. I'm gonna leak his pre-game ritual. He plays a LeBron James documentary on YouTube, and he just like locks in.
That's what I do too.
That's awesome. That's so sick.
Every day I wake up and I look at LeBron. As a Cleveland guy, that's our economy is based on him, so it makes sense. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about this field and how they performed this past couple weekends. Looking at this list, we looked at this on all of our pre-show ones we did for the broadcast, the countdown videos we did. Robin, one question just looking at this list is the prominence and success of those who qualified regionals based on ladder. They all did really, really well throughout regionals. Do you feel like there is some kind of correlation between doing well in tournaments and doing well in ladder during that set?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, obviously ladder and tournament are kind of different, but if you're able to reach rank 1 on ladder, you have to be good at that patch. Because like some people are good at patches, some people are bad at patches, and it does reflect on it definitely reflects on their rank. I know some people don't really play ranked and only scrim. In that case, it's not like that accurate, but like for example, a Lumen rank 1, like he for sure knows. It's still hard to get rank 1 on ladder. It's still hard to get rank 1 on ladder even if nobody is playing. You have to be good at the patch, so it makes sense.
Something that stands out as a difference between a ranked ladder versus Tech Cup 1 or 2 is that Tech Cup 1 or 2 show that somebody was good at one specific patch, but to qualify in through ranked ladder snapshots, you have to be getting snapshot points throughout the set. So I think it just shows a certain level of prominence throughout the entirety of the set compared to one specific patch. And for that's the reason I think that we saw a more success coming from ranked ladder. It shows who's a bit more well-rounded and who maybe was a bit more of a specialist on a patch that the TAC Cups were in.
Also in this graphic, we get to see who we lost from the TFT Pro Circuit, who got relegated and who got promoted. And so we lost a lot of good players, Robin, from the TPC this past set. Who are you like most sad to see miss out on TPC for set 16?
Is it under the Pro Circuit crossouts or?
Yeah, and play-ins. I mean, maybe this is a hot take. Did we actually lose that many
Okay, we lost Greya.
Losses.
I'm kind of surprised we lost Greya, but I don't know if he was checked out the set. I don't know about if he was checked out the set. Toronto Tokyo was definitely checked out. Tech Summers, I don't think was checked out. So I'm kind of sad to see Tech Summers gone.
Okay.
Philip for sure.
Philip surprised me.
Arturix is also pretty good. That's also a surprise. And Kurum, for sure. Kurum was not checked out this set, and he is always hungry and passionate. I don't think he was that good on the patch. I think it was the freaking mech patch. I feel bad. Like he would have been really good on this B patch for sure. So he's like a 4-cost player. So I feel bad for him, and that's all I see.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Go ahead.
Well, just most of the players that we did lose were the lowest pro point earners throughout the set, right? You can see even from play-ins, wasn't it just Chunnington, right, that actually made it through, that ended it low in pro points, and he was the highest of the players that qualified in through the play-ins. Like it does make me feel. It doesn't make me feel good, obviously, but it makes me feel almost like I don't know if vindicated is the right word. It's like the people who did well throughout the set continued to do well, and the people who struggled throughout the set got eliminated. And that makes me at least feel like TFT is not a game of just luck. Like it shows that if you're doing well throughout the set, you have a much better chance of qualifying in. But yeah, I mean, I was really sad to see Philip in particular not make it through. And he's a player that always tries each set. And I do think he has the capacity to make it to Worlds, and I was really hoping he would do that this set. So yeah, that was a bummer for me.
Moving on to regionals week 2, we had 2 days of competition before the Checkmate finals, but over those 2 days we lost a lot of good players. This is only half of the players that played this past weekend. The top 16, this is what happened on day 2, like the crunch time towards the end of people advancing and people getting cut off. And we'll see Robinsongz towards the top there. You made that first top 4 advancing cut. How does it feel to like go into day 2 and be like, all right, these first 4 games, if I pop off, which you did, you top 4 to every game, I can make it through and then be done. I can make it to the finals.
Yeah. That was my goal. I wanted to play 4 really strong games, so I wouldn't have to stress out about the next 2 games. And yeah, it's like a relief. And everybody wants to make it in 4 games because you never know, you can go like 8-7 and just get out with variance. You know, lower the variance. So felt really good.
Did you watch the rest of the games after you finished, Robin, and you qualified, or were you just
Yeah, I
checked
did.
out?
I watched party the last 2 games. I saw there. I don't know if you guys saw. I mean, you guys definitely saw it. Dishsoap. Dishsoap needed Quintanilla to not go first, and one round Dishsoap took out Samira 2 on accident.
Dude.
And he probably would have lost, but you never know. So that round, I was thinking about it. That round, if he beat him, Quint would have died. So he would have made it.
We were watching, me and Gangly were actually casting this together on broadcast. No, we weren't.
Yep.
And I remember looking over to my left where I have all the cameras of all the casters, and you were just like in disbelief.
I was off in the side. I was thinking Necra and I were the ones like in the other room, and I literally screamed loudly. And, like my hands are over my head. I'm like, "What's he doing?" Oh my god, dude! It's just, I mean, it happens though. It does happen, and and for anyone who didn't see, what happened was that he was swapping his board around, and if I remember correctly, it was that he had a unit on the bench right below the hex he was trying to swap to, and he just moved his cursor down a little bit too far. And he put like a Nefiri with no items on instead of a Samira 2. And yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And maybe it didn't make a difference, but like, you never really know in TFT.
Well, and I think the stakes of that were so high for him. And I think this is probably one of the biggest stories from this graphic we have on screen, is that Dishsoap went 9th when to make the Tactician's crown, you just had to go 8th. He was playing for his 6th straight Tactician's crown, and the streak ended there, right? That one fight could have made a difference. It looked like he was still losing regardless, and it didn't look like Quintanilla was going to die there, but, you know, it could have made a difference, right? It could have made him make a different decision next turn and then send Dishsoap back to the set championship, but it ended there.
I do just want to say, though, it's really easy in TFT to look back at the most obvious misclicks or fumbles or whatever and say like, oh, that's the reason I didn't make it to Worlds. The reality is, like, you played 12 games. I'm positive that Dishsoap can review his games and look at any of the other 11 games and find one other game where he can earn 1 placement, right? Like, you have to account for the fact that, like, you're going to misclick sometimes, you're going to whatever, like, this stuff happens. So even though it was the most dramatic mistake, at the end of the day, like, I know Dishsoap is looking at his games and thinking like, okay, I actually missed out on top 8 because of this decision I made that I actually had full control over and wasn't a misclick. That's my assumption, at least. I believe that Dishsoap is thinking of it that way.
Yep, the game that he went 8th, probably. Yep. I mean, I believe that if you play perfect TFT, you can never go 8th. So you definitely could have done something better there. I actually thought he was doing like some like 10 head play when he benched Samira, because Dishsoap is the PP. He never makes those mistakes. Right, so right. I thought he was like purposely sacking for someone. So
I mean, it did seem maybe that way. And I look towards the bottom of our standings on this screen, and I see a lot of people who kind of like let it slip towards the end. I think it's specifically some of those who are in 10th through 12th in those last few games, not being able to bring it back. Somebody like Bob Zero, who is a little bit further ahead going into some of those final games. But I specifically look at somebody like Kiyun, who was doing so well in tournament over the past 3 patches, really. The whole set, really, in tournament.
Whole set.
And, and then games 2, 3, 4 of day 2, it just, we went 8-8-8, and we were out.
I don't know what happened to Kiyun this set, but it seemed like he tried really hard this set, actually. He scrimmed infinite, and he streamed all his scrims. So he actually, this is the hardest I've seen Kiyun try in a long while, and I'm not sure what made him try this hard. He probably really wanted to make tier 1, and he did. And he probably felt like it was really he had a really good chance to make it to Worlds this set, because a lot of people were checked out. So, but then I think I don't know, I didn't watch his games, but if you go 8-8-8, you definitely like tilted. So it's probably something he needs to work on still. And
that mental fortitude in tournaments is obviously probably one of the biggest parts, because mistakes happen, and it's all about coming back from those and being able to put it together either in the next game or the next round or whatever it means. But for the players in the top 8, the good news for us as those who were on broadcast and those who like competitive TFT is that all 8 players in the top 8 were qualified for the Tactician's Crown going into the next day. And I remember DMing in one of the Citadel chats that I'm in with congratulating you and Marcel and being like, congratulations guys, you made it to the top 8. Thank you for making it checkmate because I'm excited. And you guys were like, wait, what do you mean? That's not like, you guys didn't even know that. Did you know that was a possibility?
Oh, really?
If you guys both made it?
No, I didn't know that. It made sense though, because like obviously if like not everybody is going to Worlds, you cannot do checkmate because you have to end the tournament after like 6 games or whatever and see who's in the top placements, right? Because like if only like top 7 or top 6 make it, you cannot really do checkmate, I think, because it'd be weird. But then I didn't know that if everyone's in, you would shift it to checkmate. And the reason is because it's just more fun to watch, right?
Oh, 100%. And it's good practice, right, for Tech Crown. And as well, it feels much more satisfying to crown your regional champion that way. With the checkmate format. So let's look at that final day, that checkmate lobby. This is the score sheet from the final day. We do have all the spoilers on screen for who did end up coming out on top. But Robin, you had a great start to the day, going first and then third, and then we couldn't quite get the boards in those last final game to push it to a first. How was your final lobby experience?
I mean, this is what happens when it's checkmate format. Like at the very end, you're not really playing TFT. You're playing for first. So my 8th place rate is really low, but like because I'm playing for first, like I'm going like, you know what? Like I really want to win the thing. So like I'm playing for first, but like the high EV play here is to play for second. I could have easily just played for second, and I would have gotten like just more prize pool. But like it doesn't really matter. But like I actually could. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I feel like I could have won this pretty easily. But I messed up really bad on game 5. I took there's this augment where like backup dancers where you have to have 3 units on the right side. I forgot about backup dancers on stage 3-2 right when I took it, and I only had 2 units for backup dancers instead of 3, and I was on a 6 streak, and the fight was like 1 HP diff.
Ooh,
so
yes.
that was the so on 3-2 I forgot to put backup dancer. I lost 3-2, and then I won 3-3. But then I lost 3-5 because I didn't level, because I didn't win 3-2. But if I won 3-2, I would have leveled on 3-5 and I would have won that one. So then I would be on a 9 streak. And then you know what you do in this patch on a 9 streak? You just roll for Crystal Gambit, put it in on 3-6, and you just go fast 9, and then you basically win the game for free. And that was my spot. But because I lost on 3-2, like it just ruined the entire tempo. Even though I probably could have still rolled on 3-6, I think, with a 7 streak. But then I ended up playing Ashe. And I feel like I ended up playing Ashe and I just went 8th because I didn't hit Ashe too. It was like triple contested. But if I just like played Crystal Gambit and gone fast, then I could just play. I actually played Lee Sin and I would win the game. I feel like it's kind of hard to say though, because in that game, I think it was Quint. Yeah, Quint also had like a crazy Lee Sin like TF board, but I think I would have had more HP and I would have had a Crystal Gambit cash out on him. So I feel like I could have capped out more. So that's on me. And in the 6 game, I could never win. Like I rolled down and hit 0 ashes. So that was my experience. I had a really good strong start though. But I cannot make that mistake at Worlds. I think I kind of ran out of gas a little bit.
Yeah, I think we also saw the same thing happen a little bit from Cam as well. I mean, I don't want to speak for Cam, but it seemed like Cam was really struggling in the second half of the day until that game 6 where Cam actually had like a very, very good chance of winning out.
Yeah.
We saw like a lot of frustration too. I imagine like a part of that has to be related to the fact that you're just like forced to play TFT a little bit differently. I mean, quite differently, not even a little bit. Like you're just forced to play very differently than normal in order to like adhere to the standards that checkmate leads you to. But I don't want this to just be like a downer for North America thing, because the craziest timeline happened, which was that Brazil went top 2, CMB and Shaco, 2 players where it's like, not only was it surprising that Brazil won, it wasn't the Brazilians that you would expect to win. It's not Ego Illusions. It's not Bobzera. It's not BO. It's not VCLF. It's CMB, who made it to Worlds, but has had a very quiet year, a very quiet career, and quite frankly has had 2 very rough years of TFT since he made it to Worlds. And Shaco, who's like this 18-year-old kid who made it to regionals 1 time and got like 25th or something like that. Like, these guys came out of nowhere and were absolute beasts. CMB was correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, he was the highest point scorer on the entire weekend as well, right?
Yeah, on day 1 and 2, absolutely smurfed to make it to the final lobby. And so, I mean, we can literally look at it here. You see the 61 total points, and it was just really consistent from him. And so going into that final lobby, at least us from the caster's perspective, we were looking at him saying, all right, this guy's won a lot of games already this tournament. In Checkmate, he's going to be a problem. But I want to talk about that game 6. Obviously, you were able to possibly spectate that a little bit earlier than you had hoped. But that battle between the 3 level 10 boards was actually insane. And it really was. It was just a chess match. And I mean, it's worth going back and rewatching. But Robin, who did you think throughout that game was going to win?
I thought CMB was going to win because I was basically against him playing Ashe, and I rolled down, I hit 0 ashes. He hit Ashe 2, and I was like, okay, he probably won the game. But then I was like, okay, CMB played really well. Like, this guy has a high win rate for a reason. He played 5 Crystal up until his 1 HP. Then he took out Vi and then kept his board like a beast, and he started winning every round. So he didn't get like impatient. He didn't get scared. He played to his maximum cap. I was like, if I were to bet, I would bet that he would win because Ashe just gets scales infinitely, whereas like Jay Delinsky and Cam's board is basically capped. So it would all depend on like Seraphine positioning, I think. I didn't think Cam was ever gonna win because JD just had way more HP. They had this like similar board. And then I think and then CMB was losing every fight, and then he just like capped out and he just won. I think he played like he had a Rice 2 sitting on bench ready to go in right when he was 1 life. So CMB's a beast, well deserved. I will say this is probably life-changing money for because Michael, he's from Chile, and he says he's like the richest person, almost like the richest person there from just winning all these tournaments. Cause like, the prize pool is like insane for like, it's like a lot of money for them.
I always get really happy cause like, obviously it doesn't matter much for you or even like JD or Camberley anyway, but like for the BR players, I'm like, it always is like, I'm glad the money's going to them respectfully. Like, it's probably like equivalent to like 100K or something to them.
What was the prize pool? It was like 50K
total, yeah.
So like, what do you get if you're like
got
first, second, or third?
It's like 14K into like 6K or something. Like, it's still a lot.
Okay. So JD's probably getting like 3 or 4K for third. I mean, that's not nothing. JD's
like 4K, and I'm getting like 2-3K. This prize pool is a lot. Isn't TFT's prize pool like low key kind of a lot? Because I was checking like my Liquidpedia compared to like fighting game players, and then like mine's like a lot. Okay, but, like, I guess fighting game is just like not, you can't compare that, or what?
Yeah, fighting game tournaments is like, unless you're literally winning the Capcom Pro Tour or whatever, or like you're winning the EWC stuff, I don't think you're making most of this. I mean, Evo, like, you have to like literally win the biggest tournament, and even those, like, a lot of those tournaments are just entry fees with like a percentage cut. You know, it's not like a lot of game devs are not putting $1 million into the prize pool.
So we shouldn't be complaining about prize pool,
especially because like no one has to pay anything to do this stuff.
Oh my god, I just looked up Leffen. He's only made $36,000. Didn't this guy win infinite stuff?
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. He's really Liquipedia.
His total approximate winnings is 36,000.
Is it for which game though? For which game? Or is it for all of his games?
No, this is on Liquipedia, so it's like all games.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, he was like one of the best players of all time in Melee he was one of the best players for, years in Melee. And you could win every Melee tournament, and then your Liquipedia is going to show up at like $26.
No way. All right, let me search up like Hungrybox.
All right, yeah. I mean, Hungrybox won Evo and stuff, so his is probably higher.
Oh, Hungrybox is a lot. 429,000. Wait, maybe 11th is not updated or
No,
something.
I'm telling you, Leffen is definitely one more than that.
Another great thing about this, in terms of at least prize pool, is that each of these players that qualified for the Tactician's Crown also get a chance at that prize pool, which is even bigger, which is very fun. So we have our America's qualified players for the Tactician's Crown, and I mean, it's a good-looking roster, but we do have a lot of first-time players. I don't want to spoil anything. We're gonna rank all of these regions later, but I want to get our discourse out about it. Robin, how do you feel about this roster? Obviously, you're biased.
I think this is the strongest roster we've ever had in Worlds so far. I think all the OG people are washed. Setsuko, Dishsoap, Soju, they're washed. I think these are the new Mount Rushmore of NA TFT, and I feel like we're gonna. I mean, BR is like a super underrated region. They look like they don't even get nervous at all. So, and Michael is his nickname is Wonder Boy. He's like really young, doesn't get nervous. Out Giga Chad at EWC, he would just go before every match. He would just go to the opponent and be like, "Hey, you guys nervous?" And it would just get into their heads. And then that's how we got to the top 8. And Daehwa is LeBron James incarnate. And then you have me, Marcel, most improved. Marcel and Campbelly, 2 most improved players, definitely. In like the previous sets. And Jay Dolinsky. I always fear this guy. Like at EWC qualifiers, I saw Jay Dolinsky's team, and I don't know, in my mind, I was just like, I think we're gonna lose. It was like Jay Dolinsky and like I don't know, the PMD team, PMD squad is scary. So yeah, I think we're gonna win.
Well, first of all, thanks for the clip calling Dishsoap and Setsuko and all those guys washed. That'll be great. Everyone will love that. But also, I love your confidence, man. There is a lot of things to be optimistic about, because when we were talking about this on a pre-show for day 3 of the broadcast, we're talking about the 4 players that are new to the Tactician's Crown, but they didn't seem like the classic new player. I view Marcel and JD like pretty highly already, as far as players that have competed at a high level but just haven't made it this far. And I mean, I'm expecting a lot from them at the Tactician's Crown.
I feel like this is perhaps the most volatile group of players we've ever sent, where it's like I could see us winning Worlds again, like no doubt. There's also like, all right, how do I say this? Because I'm not trying to, I don't want to flame it. Everyone who made Worlds is incredible. You don't make Worlds by accident. You're not making Worlds just by high rolling. Like, all these players are really good. I do feel like some of the players on this list have shown to have really high highs in tournament, and also have shown to have some really low lows. And so maybe it's like this is the most form dependent roster that we've ever sent. I'm a little bit concerned that, like, if I had to name a name, I'm a little concerned that Quintanilla has made multiple final lobbies and then it's gone into final lobby and essentially went 888, like scoring like 12 points over 6 games or something crazy like that. Like, I'm a little bit concerned about it. I'm a little concerned that Shaco has had one strong performance at a major event. But like Robin's saying, like the players who are good, no, sorry, I don't, saying that makes it sound like I'm saying there are players who aren't good. The players who are more veteran tier, like Michael, I think Robin is incredible. I think Cam at this point is one of the most elite players in the West. I think Marcel and JD and Dave Hall are all very underrated. And I think CMB came off of one of the best tournament performances over the course of a weekend we've seen in the Americas period. It's like there is a lot to be excited about. I just kind of feel like there are some question marks around the roster as well.
I feel like I know why you have question marks too, because you are one to compare. You're not satisfied with your own stuff. You know, we can be proud of our boys. They're gonna go take the crown home.
I'm coveting. That's what this is.
You're coveting this, and whatever the EU Avengers are, this EMEA roster is insane.
I mean,
wait, Robin, didn't you tweet
Robin's
something?
making a face.
You tweeted something, didn't you?
I mean, insane in EU is like diamond in NA. So that is not really saying much.
All right,
So
this is Robin is saying that this graphic right here is the same graphic that we showed when CLE and I went second and fourth in the Garden State Classic.
Is this you?
I mean, when I say Avengers, I mean like Hawkeye and like the agent dude,
Yeah.
the all the ones with no
Nick
superpowers.
Fury.
The ones
Yeah,
you can't
Nick
remember.
Fury,
Nick Fury and
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye coming to Worlds.
Hulk untransformed.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what
Iron
I
Man
mean when I
without the
say
suit.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Stark, not Iron Man.
I mean, but in reality though, this is actually an insane roster from them. I think of the players that qualified through tier 2, specifically headlined by Wet Jungler, like one of the tier 2 player in EMEA that wasn't in tier 1 that everybody was upset about. But also they're just sending double 61 back, which, you know, I can put you up against double 61. I would take you some of the days of the week. But I mean, Double's one of the greatest players of all time, and definitely rivals you in consistency. So it is star-studded across
All
the
right,
board.
it's okay to say that double 61 is like the best. He is the player in contention with Dishsoap and Title as the GOAT, right? Like this is what, his 7th Worlds or 6th? It's something like that. It's one of those numbers. And he's a previous world champion. He and Likoko are the players with the best AVP all time in EU. This guy like doesn't even need to try all set, and then he just shows up to regionals and is just better than every other player in Europe, like tenfold. It's okay.
Yeah.
We can let them have that double 61 is a beast.
I was looking at my resume and like everyone knows like I've won a lot of tournaments and my resume is insane. But if you compare it to double 61, it's like he beats me in like all categories, which is like actually crazy. So
this is his
yeah,
ninth.
it's actually insane.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot, his 9th.
Yeah, he goes to like
That's
worlds
way
every
off.
year, final like regionals, final lobby every year, like probably like top 8 cup like at least once a set. He won his first worlds when he was like 16, and he's been here since the dawn of time, and he's still really good. And if you ask any EU player, they always say KBC Double is the GOAT. They say like, oh, they know like Title and Dishsoap won worlds twice, but like they still think KC Double is the GOAT because of his consistency.
I actually remember, Jack, when we were making that content for regionals, and you in the Dishsoap like story videos, your script was basically just proclaiming Dishsoap as the GOAT of TFT. Like,
I'll say it.
I was actually waiting for the pushback from Riot on that script to say like it's kind of unfair to just say that Dishsoap is the GOAT when double 61 or Title exists.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if Double takes home the crown again, then I would have to change the script. But he hasn't done that, so
I think KC Double was actually ahead of Dishsoap in the GOAT conversation for me personally, because Dishsoap just has one more worlds win than him, which is like insane. But like worlds is also
second.
like another.
He went second at the worlds that Dishsoap won, by the way. Like that's not
like in a game of TFT, like going first is not it's not the same as going first in like Evo or something. Like there's a lot of variance, and like I think like sometimes worlds is like similar to regionals in terms of like how hard it is sometimes. So like I think you have to like weigh like first place a little bit less, and like you have to weigh like top 8 more. And I think KC Double just is more and has been doing it for longer. And him making worlds this set and Dishsoap not making it this set, like just puts him a little bit further. I don't know Title's like non-worlds performances, so I can't say about anything about Title. But if I were to rank the GOATs right now, it would be like KC Double, Dishsoap, and then Title maybe.
Title. It's also hard because Title is from a region that is just a lot weaker. Like Title is the only player in the world to have 3 regional finals wins, but winning Japan 3 times compared to winning North America or the Americas 3 times is night and day. Like it's not even comparable. So it is hard to judge Title's domestic performances against the rest of the world.
Yep.
All I know is like one of the biggest question marks on this roster going into it was probably Travis, but then he went ahead and won EMEA regionals. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy is actually just really good and it's finally broken through to the Tech Crown and might just win this whole thing. And then you just look at the roster of the Frenchmen who are always good at TFT, and it's just, yeah, they're really good.
I'm pretty sure I've
Yeah.
seen all the I saw all these players at EWC.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
I think there's only a couple that weren't there. But there is another region that has decided their qualified players for the Tactician's Crown already, and that would be APAC, sending a pretty big roster. But this one is definitely got its stars in it. Ironbog and YBY1 are players that we knew would be qualified already, and it is rounded out by some like almost unknown players, but also just some solid players that we'd put in the elite or close to elite category in APAC as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I've got my prep. This is my prep week for Worlds. There are a lot of players on this list that I don't have a lot of information off the top of my head on. I mean, even though the player who won, like Terry, is a player whose name I recognize, of course. Like I know he has competed in APAC. I certainly don't know what his resume looks like, and I have that same reaction to most of the players on the right-hand side. Like all the players on the left, most of them at least, like Ironbog, YBY, Yatuhashi, K Bao Bao, Jazz Latte, like most Western TFT fans will still know those names. The right-hand side, though, it just feels like, I'm not going to say random, but just players who are less known to the West. That is kind of indicative of what APAC is like, though. Like APAC, in my opinion, is the deepest region. They have so many more players than the Americas. And so it's like not that surprising that they have players who can qualify to Worlds that we just don't know that much about. But, you know, I got a week to learn more about them.
Robin, how do you feel about this roster of players?
I feel like Ironbog and YBY are like on the path to become in the GOAT contentions if they keep it up for like a couple years. They're actually insane players. Shout out to Jazz Latte. We're both Taiwanese. I hung out with them in Taiwan. Really happy for Jazz Latte. Really happy for Yatsuhashi because he is probably known. I don't know about known, but like in his team, he's he's teammates with Tidal and last set's Worlds winner, Summertimer, and they both didn't make it, but at least one Zeta player made it, and he's gonna be representing them this time. So we'll see what he can do. And I don't really know the players from the right side. Maybe Songyup sounds familiar. I think he played at EWC.
Yep.
I'm surprised like Bintum or like any of like the stronger Korean players didn't make it. I'm not really familiar with APAC, but yeah, I think YBY and Ironbog will probably do the best.
I think one of the things that's shaping up in this Tactician's Crown specifically is that there is a lot of lesser known players. Like some of the staples aren't there. Like we don't have the Dishsoap, we don't have the Bintum, we don't have Tidal, we don't have, you know, some of these players that or like I think from Volta from EMEA, like who's made it so many times before, or even somebody like Weijin and Satsuko and those players too. It feels like we're missing some of those players, but this also allows for more of those unknown players, those players that have been playing for a while that haven't quite broken through, to have their moment in the sun and be able to possibly take the Tactician's Crown, because we talked about it so much. It's a lot of this is form dependent and patch dependent and sleep dependent and time zone dependent and all these different things. So I'm excited to see a lot of these players compete on the world stage. So now that we've seen all these rosters, we did a little thing. We wanted to rank these going into the next few weeks. We know we're preparing for our pick'ems specifically. I know that's one of my favorite things. I love telling people how to win their pick'ems, and I usually lead them astray, but it's fine. We asked everybody on this show who they would put and how they would rank these regional rankings, and so let's look at them. We asked each of us, and most apparently, Robin got America's, APAC, and EMEA. Tell me about your rankings.
I mean, America's the strongest region, and there's nothing to say about that. America's the strongest region, and APAC has Ironbog and YBY, which already clears the EMEA's whole roster. So I'm gonna put EMEA third. This is EU. Not really surprised. I don't think the viewers would be surprised.
I mean, simple enough. You're a man of your word. You stick to your guns. I love it. And I do think those two from APAC are wonderful. But I definitely put EMEA towards the top of my list because of their depth of talent and also having double still be there. America's because I am a big believer in all of our up-and-coming talent, as well as the grandfather to continue to lead them through. And put APAC towards the bottom just because I think they do have the 2 players, but in a field of 40, having 2 good players, it's some odds that I wouldn't particularly take. But then Gangly, your list towards the end. Tell us about yours.
Yep. So my list is, if you're a podcast listener, number 1 EMEA, number 2 APAC, number 3 Americas. Now you cannot be upset with me for my list because my list is purely objective.
Traitor.
This is what I did. I took the career AVPs of all players at Worlds from set 11 until the end of set 15, and I averaged the career AVPs of all the players representing the regions at World. And EMEA has the best AVP among competitors at a 4.04. Then APAC at 4.18, and then America's slightly behind at 4.19, which is basically it's the same number. I did give APAC a little bit more weight because I think that since the merging of the regions, I think that the highs of America are higher, but I do think that the lows of America are lower than APAC. So I feel like the like tier 2, tier 3 players of APAC are better than the tier 2, tier 3 players of the Americas. And so I gave APAC a little bit of a nudge. Now in my heart, I'm putting Americas first. I mean, I still think that we have a really, really good chance of, you're just shaking your head, man. I think that we have a really good chance of winning. Like I'm not hating on the Americas. It's just the numbers are saying that EMEA is the best region at Worlds. That's all.
Just a hater. You don't believe in Robin. That's
okay,
crazy.
all right.
You're saying it to his face.
First off, let me just say, literally nobody can ever say that I don't believe in Robin. I was the first person to ever say that Robin was the GOAT of North America. I was the first, and I was the first person to say that Robin was the most set-resistant player in TFT.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And I tweet about Robin winning every single time he does well because
Gangly is my biggest glazer. Yep.
He is the only person that I tweet about consistently.
You're talking about this video?
Yeah, that's right. You can watch it right now on YouTube.
Gangly has done a lot of we have done a lot of interviews ever since I quit my job. There's Robinsongz quit his job to pursue TFT in like set 3 or set 4.
Set 4, yeah. You were my
first
interview ever, actually.
Yeah, you can see us through the
ages. Video. Look at this video that came out.
Yep. I don't even have the VOD for this, so I go to your this video because I don't think I lost my VOD, so like I just go to this.
Yeah, wow. I actually had to find it recently, and I couldn't find the official VOD, so I also used my own video for when I was cutting the Robin like player story video for the co-streamers.
Yeah,
well,
those VODs are lost to time.
Our combined list is EMEA number 1, America's number 2, and APAC third, which I think is, I mean, that's exactly my list, but anyway, it's fine. That's just how the averages worked out.
Combined is I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. That's what it means. I think, we can continue on with this because I know we have Robin on, and Robin is a man of stats, a man of consistency. And so on our show, we always do this Gangly Stats Corner because Gangly's a nerd and we love it. And we thought it would be no better time than now to talk about our GOAT, the GOAT of North America, Robinsongz, with this fancy graphic and a bunch of numbers that Gangly will explain to you right now.
Yep. All right. So first thing we're just going to talk about, since the merging of the regions in set 11, Robinsongz has played 207 competitive games of TFT and is tied for third in AVP. Actually, funny enough, before Sunday, he actually would have been second. But after Sunday, his AVP dropped a little bit. Now he's tied with Setsuko. It's a fake stat. But yeah, so these numbers. Oh, it has the picture of Greg. It's because I used the Photoshop file from Kurum's.
What is Greg doing there?
Easter egg. A Greg Easter egg.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
All right, so Robin has averaged a 3.95 over 207 games of competitive TFT with a 62.3% top 4 rate, making him the second highest top 4 rate in set 15's TPC. That's the only asterisk there. This is not compared to the set 16 TPC. This will change next set when we go into that. And a respectable win rate of about 16%, putting him just outside the top 8. Now, this set is where it really becomes electric, which is that in 50 games of TFT, Robin averaged a 3.84, giving him the best AVP in the field, a 64% top 4 rate, and a 16% win rate, at putting him 8th in win rate. And what's funny about these stats, actually, if anyone watched the Marcel episode, we said this about him as well, which is how crazy it is that even though these stats are like the best in the region, look how close they actually are to just his career stats, right? Like 3.8 AVP, it's just 0.1 delta compared to his like set 15 versus career. His top 4 rate is about the same. His win rate is almost exactly the same. And so it's not even high roll. It's literally not even a high roll set for Robinsongz. This is just average, slightly above average set for Robin. Makes him the best player in Americas.
I'm curious who is first since that 11.
It's Dishsoap. Or wait, Dishsoap,
I think it's
Weijin,
Dishsoap.
sets. Yeah, Dishsoap, Weijin, then Setsuko.
Are you talking about top 4 or AVP?
Oh, AVP.
Yeah.
So it's Dishsoap sets. Wait, so damn,
Dishsoap,
that's the
Weijin.
why, huh?
Yeah, Dishsoap,
Dishsoap-
Weijin, and then you and Setsuko are tied. But you
Okay,
have a
okay,
better top 4 rate, and he has a better top 1 rate.
No. I should be second because checkmate doesn't count. I went 8-7 because of checkmate format. That doesn't count. You're supposed to remove those.
Oh,
I actually could see that being a very valid argument, but then we'd have to remove all the final days of TPC as well, where you did really well and then won, which improved your AVP.
That's true. Who is the first and top 4? Is it also Dishsoap?
I'm assuming it's Dishsoap. It has to be Dishsoap. Let's
Damn,
see.
Dishsoap
Yep, it's
actually is
Dishsoap.
the GOAT.
Uh,
Who has the highest win rate? Wait, Setsuko? Weijin?
it's probably Dishsoap. Oh no,
What? He's
it's
1-1-1?
It's Setsuko.
Dang, this is cool. This is like, it's actually like reflective of like their playstyle and stuff.
Dude, and you know what? It's just, this is such a beautiful moment for me, because back in like set 6, set 7, when I started publishing stats of the players, I got flamed so hard by top players who were like, who is this idiot? You posting stats and then making a don't talk if you don't know power rankings ballot based off of these stats. Tournament stats don't matter. It's all variance. And then here we are like 3 years later, and the stats are just showing us everything that we believed all along.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's like that this is like, there's like no variance. There's variance in TFT, but like in the long run, there's like, this is just like as same as any other esport, I feel like.
well, and I think one of the biggest things is we all crown you as like the most set resistant player of all time, one of the most consistent players ever. And I mean, the stats would just immediately back that up, right? Your AVP, your top 4 rate, your win rate is almost the exact same from this set to last set or previous sets. And it's just also been good for such a long time because you've been good at every set you've played in the past, 5 sets. So I think this is just a really fun indication of who you are as a player, and also just that you belong in that big 4 conversation, at least, if not.
Yeah, I've got a question here. Robin, how much does like the conversation around like being the GOAT or the big 3 of the Americas, or like, I don't know, the recognition, like how much does that actually matter to you when you're playing? Because I feel like you actually appear from the outside looking in like a genuinely humble person when it comes to TFT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care that much, but like it definitely matters when I do really well for so many sets, and then people still don't put me like in the same echelon as Dishsoap, Weijin, Setsuko. Yeah, because I'm always like a tier below them, and I feel like I feel like low key Setsuko has fallen off recently, but it's because I don't know, he's lost his passion or something. But yeah, there's still a lot more sets to go. And do you have sets from like earlier than set 11 or no?
I do, but they're not. This actually, you know what? This is a good call out. I have a bunch of individual sheets that I've never been able to find a good way to put all of my stats together. But I have stats from sets 7 through 10, like pre set 11, and then I have some stats from set 6. So if anyone's out there and wants to take on a side project of taking all my old stats and like making a cool database with them, hit me up on Twitter or Discord.
All right. We got to move because we have 5 minutes left in our show. You guys ready for this? We're going to end with a rapid fire Robinsongz Q&A. We got these questions from people on Twitter. and also some from Discord as well. And Robin, are you ready? This is going to be all you for the next 5 minutes, and I need
ready.
Quick, concise answers. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, ready.
From B-Pots, tell me about the Robin walk. What's the origin?
The origin is when Setsuko was playing at Worlds, he would play this song, like the marching ant song, and then so I was watching Setsuko, and then I would play the marching ant song, and then I would be like, "Chat, get up, let's march for Setsuko." So I would get up and start marching, and I don't know why, like people thought it was really funny, and then in one tournament, I don't know why, like when I was about to win, I started standing up and started like marching or walking, and then one of the casters was like, "Dude, why is he walking?" And it became a meme. And then now I just started walking after every win, and it became a thing. It became my finishing move.
Yeah, you're the only TFT player with a finisher. Anyway, all right, next question.
Yeah.
From 416, how do you manage to stay so consistent after so many sets?
I think it's just like me not losing my passion for the game, and also it's part of my job, so I just like take it very seriously. I think I am one of the more consistent streamers in TFT. Like I don't really take that much time off. And and then I don't know, it's just my playstyle. I think like my playstyle, like my flowchart TFT is just like it's just like very resistant to any. It's the same type of playstyle for like how TFT works. So and then I know that like if I get worse, it'll be like worse for my career. So and this career, you don't know how long it's gonna last. So you must not take it for granted. So you must try to stay on in form.
Love it, and that shows. Next question from Pun TFT: where do you rank yourself among NA players? If not one, do you think you can become the best in the future?
I think I'm third behind Dishsoap and Wation right now. But I do think I'm number one in like non-worlds things, because I feel like I've placed I don't know, like 8 or 9 times in top 8 regionals. I've won tons of cups. I've placed top 8 in tons of cups. I've even won a lot of these random tournaments, like the Soju Invitational, the Digi Duos, like all these local like tournaments. I do think I'm number one in that. Like I won Box Bootcamp twice. But if you count like worlds, I'm definitely behind Dishsoap and Wation for sure. I think I need to win at least one worlds to be placed like in GOAT contention with Dishsoap and Wation.
Understood. All right, from Remikun on Twitter, can you rank the methods to study TFT? I listed them out here, but basically, how would you recommend people study TFT, and how many games a day is optimal?
I think this is different for everyone. So I would do a mix of everything and see which one like you like the most. I think helps a lot. I usually when the new patch starts, I like to spam games on solo queue. And after I understand the meta, I will then VOD review, because I feel like if you VOD review and you don't understand the meta, then it's not really that helpful. I guess you could also VOD review to understand to realize what the meta is. But like I would talk to other people. I don't know if like other players have access to this, but like definitely get a group of like high not like high GM, low challenger players together, and like you guys can start improving together at once. Definitely study stats websites like Tactician.tools. Explorer is very helpful. I would go to Meta TFT for comp list. TFT Academy is definitely good for like beginners. I think just like looking at a comp and playing it from there. TFT Academy also has like a really good guides section that has like guides for a lot of different comps. If you're not getting better spamming games, looking up stats, VOD reviewing, I would definitely reach out to get some coaching. Good coaches, I recommend Brosif, Cambuli. Those are the two that comes to mind. Pretty good. They're pretty good at like explaining things, and they're both really good. Looking at Twitter, Reddit guys, that's probably more for beginners, I think. How many games a day is optimal? This depends on the person. Like I don't think you can have too many games. I don't think you can have too less games. Some people play like 2 games, and like Dishsoap watches more. And then some people Setsuko spams like 20 games. So it depends on the person. But you shouldn't listen to somebody like, oh, only play 5 games, and you only play 5 games and you study more. Just play however many you want.
All right, final question from Anonymous. Does your shirt come in men's?
This is Guba asked this. Does your shirt come in men's? It comes in men's and comes in women's. It doesn't matter. Okay, as long as you like it, and you think it looks good on you, that's all that matters.
All right. Well, we've seen this graphic time and time again here on the Rolldown. This is our competitive roadmap. We just finished up the regional finals, which means there's only one last checkpoint before the close of set 15, and then we're off to PB for set 16. So the regional finals just concluded, and Tactician's Crown starts just next weekend. That's
10
crazy.
days.
Yeah, I guess from the time we're recording, I'm assuming you're gonna have this out like tomorrow or relatively soon. Yeah. So we're at the end of the road. Set 15 is nearly there. It's not going to be our last episode. No, we're going to do at least one or two more, and obviously we'll do something after Worlds, but we are just about there. I think that's going to do it, though, for this episode of the Rolldown. Jack, Robin, thank you all for coming in today, breaking down not only everything that happened at regionals, but a look towards Worlds, looking to the future to see how we're going to close out the rest of the set. For everyone watching, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us wherever you get your podcast, stay tuned for more updates, and also keep an eye out for Worlds. Jack and I are, just to give a little teaser, we're trying to figure out some potential content to come out throughout Worlds. I don't want to give specifics just in case it doesn't happen, but we are trying to figure out something to happen. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube to see if any of that stuff is coming out. That will do it for episode number 11. 11.
So
it's funny because in the graphics I'm sending you, they're definitely called episode 8. I'm glad you never corrected me on that until now. But that's going to do it for episode number 11 of the Rolldown, and we'll see you guys next time.